What's going on, guys? We got a super crazy video for you today, but before we get started, here's the thing. I'm just kidding, guys. I had to do it. But today we're going to go over an in-depth thing guide. We're going to go over the thing's abilities. We're going to go over how to play the thing. And then we're going to hop into a high time and GM level replay so you guys can see how the thing is played out at higher skill levels and learn how to play the thing. Now, without further ado, the basics first. Let's get into his abilities. So his first ability is just a 2-tap punch. Each one hits 40, and each time you hit your punch, both punches go off. As far as DPS per second, this is going to do a lot more damage quicker than your alternate punch, which is a haymaker. This haymaker hits for 90. It'll move you forward 3 meters, but it has a range of 8 meters. So see, it doesn't actually hit past 10 meters, but if you're within about 8 meters, you're going to hit. And if you look down, our character model actually move forward too. So you can do things like jump, haymaker, and you can even jump while your haymaker's charging up just to get a little bit more distance and momentum with it. And now the special thing about this ability is every time you use it, it'll grant you a 50-point shield. So using this mid-fights is really good for actually having some damage mitigation. But if you want to maximize damage output, you're going to want to right-click, 2-tap, right-click, animation, cancel, 2-tap, right-click, animation, cancel, 2-tap. And that'll be the most damage per second while providing you maximum shielding. But if you're in fights and you're just using this ability in mid-fights, that's also okay too. You're not really going to notice too much of a decrease in damage. But if you are trying to melt someone really quickly, I highly recommend spamming the 1-2 punch. So this will kill people way quicker. Now, his bread and butter and his best ability is going to be his Yancey Street Charge, which puts us in this charge animation for 5 seconds, knocking everybody up in our path. And after we finish, it'll create this 8-meter zone, and everybody in this zone can't use mobility abilities. So what does that mean? So Rocket Raccoon can't dash out of it. If you hit another thing with it, the thing can't use this charge while in that 8-meter range. Silex can't dash out of it. It's really good for shutting down high mobility heroes, especially if you charge in and get on top of them. Then your team actually has a little bit of time to focus them down, which is a really good way you want to use the ability. Now, another thing with this ability is it will grant you 200 points of shielding during the ability's activation. So while you're in this ability, you're really hard to take down. The shield doesn't keep regenerating, but it will boost your health to 900 for a few seconds. So that's going to be your primary tool for engaging, and also going to be your primary tool for basically just running around the fight and being a menace and creating as much disruption as you can. Now, the thing is more of he is pretty much a frontline bruiser, but he's also a bit of a disruptor because you're a big ass bullet sponge. So if you're just frontlining the whole time, you're going to get so melted, and we'll talk about this more in your replays. So you're going to really want to be playing undercover and using your charge at strategic moments. Now, his last 2 abilities are his ultimate. We'll go over his ultimate first, then we'll go over his E, which is his jump. So his ultimate has a range of 18 meters, and it's a 2.5 second stun. Actually, we weren't close enough. We were 19 meters out. Hold on, let's get some old charge real quick. All right, so his range is going to be 18 meters for his ult, and it is a traveling ultimate, okay? So what that means is that every 0.1 seconds, I think it moves 2 meters forward for a total of 18 meters, and everything in range will get knocked up and stunned for 2.5 seconds. This is your playmaker right here. It doesn't do a lot of damage. It only hits for 100. So it's not going to be crazy for getting team kills, but it is going to be very crazy for setting up plays for your team and really shutting down teammates. And then his last ability is his E. Let's go talk about it real quick. All right, so his E is this jump, and when you jump to target, both you and that target will get 30% damage resistance, and the range on it is actually pretty long. As you can see, we've got that's about 16 meters of range right there. So you jump, both you and your ally get shielding, and you get 2 charges of this. So you have to wait 3 seconds between uses, and it does take 10 seconds to get a full charge back after they've been used. So what you're going to be wanting to use this ability for primarily is, there's 2 ways to use it. One is you go in, you charge, you cause your disruption, you brawl for a little bit, you're taking too much damage, you need to get out of the fight. This is your way to get out of the fight, assuming you have a teammate who's not too far away back there. So that's option A for using it, and option B for using it is at the start of a fight, you can jump to the teammate, get your 30% damage distance, and then you jump in with 200 extra bonus health plus the damage resistance for 3 seconds that you get from your jump. And that's a really good solid way to engage. I think my most favorite way to engage with the thing is, especially if you play with another dive tank, like with Captain America, it's super good because Captain America has a lot of mobility. So when Captain America dives in, you can actually also follow him. You can dive in, E with Captain America, brawl for a little bit. And the best part about playing like that is it actually saves your charge. So you can use it mid-fight, or you can even use it as an escape, potentially. Because the E for escape isn't always reliable, because you won't always have a teammate close enough that you can fall back to. Like in a perfect world, you should, but sometimes your backline gets sniped first, and then you're really kind of just dead in the water. And as far as playing the thing, what you're going to want to be is basically just a menace. You're going to want to be using this ability a lot. Like I said, it hits in a cone. So everybody within range is going to be getting hit. Like big team fights with people clumping up, you're going to be wanting to primarily be using your haymaker. If you need to melt someone quick, you're going to be wanting to use your melee attack, ult to set up plays, left shift as an escape / engage / just being a menace, man, and really just running around points and objectives, also using it for zoning against high mobility heroes. And that's basically the thing in a nutshell. So let's hop into a replay and we'll show you guys more in depth on like how to play the thing at like a higher level of gameplay. All right, 1 second. Let's talk about the team up. So he has the same fastball team up with Wolverine that Hulk has, where you can just throw Wolverine. I'm not going to showcase that one, but he also has the team up with Invisible Woman. Whenever you pop this ability for 5 seconds, you'll get some damage resistance, and you heal a total of 100 health during the duration of this. So this is actually really good because you get like a little bit of a pocket heal, and you're healing every second for 5 seconds, and you get up to 100 extra bonus health with her ability, which is actually really good for the thing because a lot of the time you're going to be deep in the enemy lines, and you're going to really want to have that team up bonus. So now the replay. All right, starting a little earlier in the match because I wanted to talk about one more thing with the thing. So with the thing, ideally you want to have a second tank with the thing. Like the thing can't really just sit out in the open a ton because, let me pause the replay here real quick. He can't really sit out in the open a ton because when his abilities are off cooldown, he's basically a huge bullet sponge. So you're kind of dead in the water. You're not like Magneto, you're not like Strange. So you're much better as like an off tank kind of bruiser role. You can't main tank, but I would not recommend it. You are going to struggle a lot, especially when you don't have your abilities off of cooldown because you don't have that damage mitigation like the shield for Strange or like Magneto can. So they can play out in the open very well. But with the thing, even though you're such a big character, you actually really want to play a lot with cover and kind of use the 8-meter radius on your punches to kind of hug corners and get a lot of punches off. So immediately at the start of this replay, I'm actually positioning myself to be behind them because I know I can use my charge to cause a lot of disruption, and I can just run through them and run back to my team. So it's kind of like 2 birds with 1 stone. 1, I'm causing chaos and disruption. 2, I get back to my teammates safely, and I still have my jumps. So at the start of the match here, I'm actually starting off a little bit behind them. And I'm just going to kind of play this off angle here. And we're just going to hold. Nothing fancy. Still waiting for the match to start. And now when the match starts, my plan is basically just going to cause as much chaos on the payload as possible and really try to stall it to the best of my ability. We also even got a flanking Jeff here, which is actually going to help. Flanking Jeffs are actually pretty good. But that's topic for another video. So anyways, they're starting to come out. I don't even punch. I just go straight into a charge. I run around the point. I got my extra health. And now I'm using the point for some cover here. I'm using my punches. Invisible Woman was actually 1 hit right there. I didn't notice that at the time. And right now I'm just punching through Strange's shield, playing around the cart. I popped my team with Invisible Woman because I got at this game. And we're basically just being a menace. And notice I'm trying to use this ability. You can cancel it early to just slam on the ground, but I'm trying to use all 5 seconds of it just because the knock up is so distracting and it's so good. And with the 200 extra health and also moving a lot, you're really not that likely to die. So I dropped the zoning there so Spider-Man can't jump away. And we managed to secure killing him. Venom's coming in. He's also another character. I'm pretty sure he can't swing while he's in the goo. I tried it this game. I don't know if he just didn't have a swing, but it seemed to work out well. But he's another one of those characters that you can use to kind of counter. So really good against high mobility dive heroes, but right now we're not doing anything crazy. We're just playing the cart. We're hugging the cart for cover so we don't take too much damage because we're playing a little bit up front. And I'm literally just using the cart, popping my heal again. Teammates are getting back. I jumped to them, and I'm really just trying to get them off my team. And now I'm back on the cart. Not charging in, the whole team's there. I do have my ult, so I decided to go ahead and go in, cause a little bit of chaos. And I want to get in a better position before I ult. So notice I got some cover here, and now I can actually ult. Strange already got killed, and I didn't actually hit the Invisible Woman. She got killed anyway. So that was actually a little bit of a waste, but I saw that they were low, so I really wanted to secure those kills, so I ulted on them. My teammates ended up getting them anyways. Venom in the back line, trying to zone him out. And as you can see right there, he wasn't able to actually like jump, although he still had plenty of health, so that might have been the reason why he didn't want to jump. But that was our whole mindset behind putting the zoning there. Taking some damage, we jumped our teammates in the back line, get a little damage distance, and we just back out of there. Venom's diving in on us, and we're actually a little low on people. Luna pops ult and Viz pops ult. We double support ult, and I actually make a bad mistake here because I go straight to the cart after Star-Lord ulted. So I became a target for Star-Lord. When I had 2 support ults, I could have kept me completely safe. So that was actually a huge misplay on my part. Do better than me. Do better than me. No needs to struggle there. But yeah, no, once Star-Lord popped his ult, I should have actually backed out. But my whole mindset there was like I wanted to stall the cart. And I wasn't really worried about Star-Lord shooting me. Until he like shot me, and then I realized like, yeah, we had 2 support ults which popped, which is also a misplay on our supports because we wasted 2 ults for that. But also a misplay for me for running out of the support ults when I would have just been just fine there. Anyways, causing a little disruption, chaos, taking a lot of damage, no teammates to jump back to, and this is kind of one of those situations I talk about. Like a lot of times when you're like diving and brawling and trying to distract, you're not going to notice your teammates behind you, so you don't always have that jump to get out, which is why I've been playing a lot more smarter with my charge ability, because sometimes you do need to use that to get out. But honestly, I probably shouldn't have even gone to contest that fight to begin with, because it was kind of a lost battle. We were trickling, we didn't have full man advantage. Even GM players are still learning the game. But this is why we watch replays, and that's why I like kind of making these videos, because I get to teach you guys some stuff, and also I get to learn myself. So right there, I'm not committing to that. I saw Venom dived in. I just went in to stall the card a little bit, cause a little distraction, and then get back to safety. Jump to my tank who's going in. And right now we're just trying to put some pressure on. They're on the defense, so I know I can go in a little bit and don't have to play so close to cover. I did see Venom going in, but I know there's some squishies here. So I go in like I'm going to chase him, and I ended up just turning back just to play it safe. And we do get the pick on the Strange here. Jump into Jeff. So I have to go ahead and ult since they're pretty low. And we do manage to get this kill on this Venom here. Perfect. Invisible Woman assisted there. She pulled him into my punch. It was dope. But right now, the name of the game is just to keep them trickling. Since they're kind of... We lost Jeff there, which is kind of bad, which means we got his plan space out a little bit. But I'm trying to get behind him so I can charge through him and get back to my teammates. Moon Knight doing a little flank, dropping his ult. Supports are dropping some ults. I see their supports right here, so now I'm getting ready to come down. But I end up seeing this Venom here, and we have a moment. This is no strategy at all. We're just two big boys brawling it out just to see if we can. And I'm actually taking a lot of damage. I think someone else is attacking me there. So I decided to dip out, and we make it back to our team. Now, granted, we were keeping Venom busy that whole time. We probably should have engaged in on the team, but sometimes you gotta have some fun when you play, even at high level, guys. And that was just a big boy battle that I couldn't resist. Respect the big boy battle. Their mag gets a huge pick on us. I'm running around trying to stall the point. Jump to my Jeff. I see Cloak's trying to kill him before he gets the spit out. And right now, just trying to get the pick on this Cloak here. Actually doing a good job surviving. I think she's getting healed as well. You managed to secure that pick, and now we're back to the payload. Rocket here, amazing rocket pick. So the thing with Rocket though is when you knock him up in the air, he's technically high enough that I think he can still use his dash, because the thing with that ability is it only works 4 meters vertically. But I've seen rockets get bounced up and still dash out. They might be dashing before I even have the zoning field in effect. I think that's what's going on, but I've noticed sometimes they still able to dash out of it. But they shouldn't be able to. And right now, we're just being a menace. We're literally just being a distraction, keeping their attention on me when I take too much damage. I'm trying to get back to my teammate here to jump out. But again, this is another one of those situations where I was kind of dead in the water because Magneto was just out of range. I couldn't actually jump to him. So we end up getting picked there. Teammates pushing the cart. And now we're kind of trickling in. We need to pull back and regroup here at this point. So I'm using my charge to gain some distance. I also don't recommend this. Like, it isn't on the craziest longest cooldown. It's only 10 seconds. But sometimes when you need to get to the point quickly, use that to go in. But a lot of times you want to save it. Notice we still have 3 seconds before we can use our charge. So I'm playing safer on the cart. And now I'm going to use my charge, cause some distractions. And I've got my ult ready. So I go ahead and drop it. Actually only get the Magneto. But Scarlet Witch is actually able to secure her ult there. So it wasn't the best ultimate, but it was still solid enough for us to get some momentum. And notice we just have to stall the cart here. We're about to, they only have 4 seconds left. We just need to get picks at this point. So having the most game-changing ultimate in that situation isn't really that big a deal. So now let's hop into the next round. All right, so that was the thing on defense, and now we get to play the thing on offense. And honestly, I prefer playing the thing on offense. I use them on defense because I really wanted to make this video, but I usually prefer a different tank for defense, like Magneto or Thor or somebody like that. He seems to just work a lot better on pushing payloads and on point control maps. Defense, not so much, but you can play him on defense if you play him the way I played him, just basically being a distraction. But when you're playing on offense, you have more abilities to just, you know, quote unquote, run it down, kind of like we're doing now. So I see Rocket's revive in that building. I went that way, so I was really tempted to try to go snipe it because I know how strong the BRB is. As someone who mains Rocket himself, I decided to back up, get him off the payload, get some heals, and I'm actually going to go flank on the side. And I'm using my ability here because I want to get this sniped as quick as possible, because I know while it's up, even if we get a pick, we won't be able to generate the momentum to actually win the fight. Because, like, for example, that Loki is pretty low, but getting a pick here would just mean it's still a 6v6. But now they don't have the revive, so Rocket loses a lot of his value here. So now we're able to just kind of go in. And right now, I'm in the back line because they're not really paying attention or focusing me. But the second they start looking at me, I'm out of there. So So I caused some distractions for my teammates. Ults are popping off. And he's ulting. And right now, these are just safe punches. I'm behind the cart. I'm not super exposed. I'm just trying to get some damage off. Run into my healer ult. Being a menace. Rocket, now it's trapped in the zone. But I don't think he actually has dashes, because at this point he should be able to dash out. But I think he blew both his dashes already. We get the kill on the little rat. And we're going to be able to push this and cap this point. And right now, with the fancy guys, we're just playing safe, waiting for them to respawn. Ideally, we'd like to push up some and keep trickling in, but at this point it doesn't matter because we're so close to securing this point. Punching in Ankh for Yancey Street. Now they're on the high ground here. I think can struggle with people on the high ground, so my advice here is don't I wouldn't say don't worry about them on the high ground, but do what you can. Like, there's always gonna be counters to characters, and sometimes you gotta just make the best of a situation or learn when to switch off. Anyways, Venom back on point. I pinged Venom so my team could come back because he was stalling the cart. He got lit, he ran out of there. And right now, I'm not really worried because they're not contesting the cart. So right now they're giving us free space, so there's no reason for us to do anything crazy here because our cart is moving. We're just waiting for them to make a misplay. Trying to take a little off angle here so I can keep zoning them out. Jeff ulting in. I'm running right past and I go straight for the BRB, which is a bad location. But honestly, at this point, actually, there is some good locations. Maybe that's be another video. I'll talk about BRB locations. Let me know if y'all want to see that down below. But yeah, this rocket's losing a ton of value because I sniped his BRB twice, and that's 2 free rebuys he didn't get. So Strange ulting in. I decided to go ahead and zone out the rest of the team so they can't really follow up on his ult. And right now, just creating space. I do have my ult too. I popped my ult here, and he rocket actually dashed through it, which was crazy. So what I would guess from that is that his ult, it has a travel time, but also a delayed hit. So he dashed through my ult perfectly. Honestly, if I play rocket and this happens to me, I'm just gonna dash through his ult. I think that'll work every time, as silly as that is. But unfortunately, we didn't actually get rocket that ult. We didn't get anybody with that ult. They all dodged it. I was hoping I'd at least get that rocket though. But anyways, creating some space, pushing forward, and we do manage to secure the objective. And that's the way to play that thing, guys. So if you feel like you got value from this video and you have a better understanding of the thing now, please consider leaving a like, commenting down below, and subscribing to the channel. I love this tank. Is he overpowered? I don't think so, but I do think he's very strong at what he does. And I do think he's not the tank you want for every situation, but for a lot of situations, he can definitely work. Anyways, guys, have an amazing day. Don't forget to smile. I'll see you guys on the next one.